Welcome once again, guys, to a brand new installment of the Visual Vapor Reviews. Today, we are going to be talking on Topic Tuesdays. We're going to be doing a new topic, and we're going to be doing some chit chats about what's going to be happening and hopefully what's going to be coming in on Thursday. Now, because a friend of mine couldn't get into town, I don't have the mag kit and matching TFV 12 tank in which to do the video review for. So that kind of has been pushed off to the side until my friend can come into town. He comes from Claremont, so it's going to be a little bit different, but hopefully I will have a new mod to review within the time between now and Thursday. So let me go get my topic piece real quick. Let's pause this real quick. Well, sadly, I guess that's not going to work. My tablet died earlier, so I guess I'm going to have to wait for that. Now, I bet you're wondering what's up with the side of my hair. And if you notice, on the side of my ear, looks like a white cylindrical thing. Now, some of you are probably playing the doubt game. Oh no, Michael started smoking cigarettes. I thought he would never do that. Man, he's taken such a big step down. Well, time to unsubscribe from the channel, guys. I guess I'm a smoker. Really? Did you really think that I'd be smoking after all of these years of vaping advocacy? Please. Please. It's time to show you what this really is. Some of you are probably playing the doubt game like, maybe it's a pen, maybe it's not. Well, I'm here to tell you it does look like a cigarette, but it is not a cigarette. It is a Mach 10 vape pen. And this little beauty is a great starter kit. Now, we're going to be talking about the difference between cig-alikes and vaporizers. This is a cig-alike, but it is a vaporizer at the same time. This is a vapo cig-alike. There's a difference between cig-alikes and vaporizers and cig-alikes. There's a whole different subcategory between these little guys and these big guys. So why don't we get into it? So, as you can see, looks a lot like a cigarette, doesn't it? You got your filter-like area right here and your end piece. And it's pretty similar, right? Looks, feels, seems just like a cigarette. But in reality, it is a vaporizer, and a very compact one at that, and a powerful one. It has a 2.5 milliamp hour battery. Sorry. A 2,000 milliamp hour battery, and it has a 2 amp charging time with a micro USB charger that connects to this beauty. Well, I should say straight up USB because it just screws into a USB dock to charge. So, you have these Mark 10 cartridges, or cartomizers, and these ones are really easy to refill and use, so I really like them myself, personally. This is the menthol flavor, and it is a very useful little piece. You've got 2 little dots for airflow, for a very restrictive airflow, or mouth to lung or direct lung. You can't really do direct lung with these, but they are made more for mouth to lung, so check this out. Very, very, very similar to a cigarette. The draw is very mimicking to a cigarette. I have tried a cigarette once in my time just because I wanted to have something to base my reviews off of and for when I'm reviewing stuff like this. Because if I've never smoked a cigarette in my life, then I have nothing to base the comparison off of. So yes, when I first started my videos, I did smoke one cigarette just to get the feel for it and see what differences there are between vaping and smoking. I have never smoked since then, so you don't have to worry about that. It was one time, and it will never happen again because of how horrible it felt and tasted. So now let's show you guys how this works. There are 2 airflows. If you want a more restrictive mouth to lung, you put your fingers over those air holes and then slide one finger down when you finish drawing. So you draw for just a small few, maybe a second tops, and then you pull your finger down. So and see, you get a bit more vapor than you did before. Now if you do a straight direct to lung hit without holding your airflow, You don't get nearly as much vapor, but you do get good flavor. Now, the difference between this and and the box mod is that, well, first of all, obviously size. Second off is performance and flavor. This performs just as well as this, but this puts off more vapor production, as you guys have seen in previous videos, but if you haven't, I'll demonstrate right now. So we'll do the Cig-a-like one more time, Mark 10. Also interesting to know, it is draw activated, no buttons. I can do it completely hands-free. See? Very useful, very easy. Now, second thing to note is with something like this, you're going to get a lot more vapor. Although it does perform very similar to a Cig-a-like, if you want it to, it can perform just like one. I'll show you that in a second. So this is what you can expect when using a setup like this at full power, when you're fully used to vaping. See, easily way more vapor than you can expect off of something like this. So, now something to note is you can actually make this perform just like this. So what you want to do is you have big wide open air slots on your tank. You want to close those down to about just a tiny bit left. Then you want to turn your wattage all the way down from 70 watts to about, I'd say 17 watts easily. That's pushing it too. So let's try it. Okay, you do get a little bit more vapor, but it's very similar to this. It's all in how you tailor it. So I'm going to fill this up. And something to note is when you're using your device, like a device high-powered like this at such a low wattage and resistance, you're going to save battery life and coil and juice amounts as well. Plus, as you guys may not know, I am running deadly low on juice, so that's going to be fun. There we go. Alright, so I want to show you guys how well this works at 17 watts. Take a look at this. It's just at 17 watts, and I have my airflow almost all the way closed off, so watch this. Very similar. Let's try a comparison. Yep, almost identical. So that's something to note. Hello, iJoy. Auto watt. Power high. Another thing to notice, mine's voice control, that thing's not. So, flavor-wise, gets a little bit more, little more vapor production and better flavor. So, all in all, they're both good products, and they both perform very similar ways, just one's a little more complex than the other. The thing is, people want something simple like this when they're first starting vaping and working on quitting smoking because it's simple. You don't have a bunch of buttons to push. You just draw and go, just like a cigarette. It just literally takes the step out of lighting the cigarette. So you just pick it up, put it in your mouth, forget lighting, draw and go, and then put it back. Done. With something like this is meant for more of the hobby aspect and vapor production. It also puts off higher amounts of nicotine should you use nicotine. I myself do not. So it also allows you to have a higher nicotine intake than e-cigs. You can also do some pretty cool tricks. You can do some tricks with the e-cig, but not as many. You don't have as much vapor to play around with. I'll actually try and do an O-ring real quick. Not big, but I should be able to do it. Okay, you can do a couple of rings. Not bad. Not bad at all. I was thinking I would only get 1 or 2 rings out of it, maybe 3, but I ended up getting 4, so no complaints there. Got my coffee off to the side to kind of help because this is very minty. This is a fruit punch mixed with raspberry lemonade, so not a bad flavor at all. I like the balance between the two. Now the thing about these function very similar to a rebuildable dripping atomizer. I've mentioned these in those in previous videos. You can check those out. This works very similar to an RDA. It's a bit of cotton wrapped around a coil or heating element, and it's filled to a certain amount of juice. So there's cotton all the way to about here. And what that means is it's saturated in a ton of e-liquid, which is specifically designed with a certain amount of nicotine. Now, of course, this doesn't have nicotine. I got mine in 0. It has, in other e-cigs, it has a certain amount of nicotine and a certain amount of juice, and when that runs out, it's time to change your cartomizer. Me, I don't really like changing cartomizers because that costs money, and it's just like buying cigarettes. It costs money. So what I do is I will take the top when this is done and empty, I will take the filter piece off, and then I'll take the little rubber gasket that's in there off, and then I will drip some of my own e-liquid on there for new flavor and longer lasting cartomizer, so I don't have to worry about it as much. And it works very similar to an RDA. It's just like dripping. You can fill in my case, I could fill the tank up or drip directly on it and enjoy the flavor that way. But either one works, and I do enjoy it both ways. But all in all, the big differences between these two aren't all that scary. There's just a size difference. They can both function the same way. This one just has a few more options than this one. So it's just expanding your horizon in terms of option wise. If you're a smoker looking to quit smoking and go to vaping, this is nothing to be intimidated by, but this is something better for starting off with, so that you don't be coughing up your clouds or coughing up a lung while trying it for the first time. So just be warned, just try and feel your way through it. There are plenty of people who are more than willing to talk to you about an informed decision and how to help you make the right choice on what you get for the first time. When you first start out vaping, you may not want to set up like this. You'll probably want something simple like this or an ego twist. It's pretty simple, actually. Once you get the hang of it, it's all about choosing the right device for you. And in the end, there are so many people that are more than willing to help you with that. If you go into any vape shop, there are people who are willing and ready, depending on which one you go to, of course. There are people who are almost always willing and ready to help you make the right decision and make an informed decision on what you're looking for, whether it be a high nicotine intake or giant clouds or just simple vapor rather than smoke. There's so many choices, and the only limit is you. So all you have to do is talk to the people around you who vape, and they'll help you make informed decisions on what you're looking for to start with. And especially consult my channel, because that's what I do here. I help people make informed decisions on what to buy before they buy it. So be sure to like and subscribe on that, and be sure to click the notification bell so you stay up to date on all the latest updates from the VVR. Be sure to leave a comment down in the crotch box on what was your first mod. That's the question of the day. It is a very, very interesting question. I'd love to see and hear from all my viewers what your first mod was. It's definitely something special for everyone. My first mod was the Mark 10, actually, and then I upgraded to the Vapin Plus from Rite Aid, and then my first official real mod was the Smock Baby Beast pen. So be sure to leave a comment in the crotch box about what is your first mod and what is your favorite mod and how far you've come since then. So until next time, as always, I'm your host, Michael Cobb. Be sure to remember that smoking is dead. Vaping is the way of the future, and the future is now. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. I do this for you, and it's always such a pleasure doing this kind of thing. I love making videos for you guys, and I love working on stuff like this. Also, be sure to check out my Facebook page, Visual Vapor Reviews. Like it, and be sure to follow it as well, so that you guys can stay up to date on all the latest vaping news. And also be sure to check out the Vapresso fan group, which is going to be linked in my Facebook page as well as soon as possible once I get around to that. And we'll see you guys again on Thursday. So thanks so much, guys. As always, I'm your host, Michael Cobb, and these have been the Visual Vapor Reviews. Peace, guys. Stay sexy.